had a very good friend before. She was good in everything except talking. She always spoke very bluntly. It made people feel uncomfortable, but when I thought about it carefully, she was right. Over time, I got used to her way of speaking. We were still good friends. I didn't care about my appearance. Sometimes when I was filming or in class, people couldn't stand it anymore and would secretly come to me and say, "Director, shouldn't you change your clothes?" I was surprised and said, "I just changed yesterday." He said, "What are you changing? Isn't it the same one?" I said, "Oh, I have two of the same one." But every time I went out with her, she would say loudly in front of a few friends, "Li Shanglong, the clothes you are wearing look like rags. They are so ugly. Why don't you change them? People who don't know you would think you are a prisoner." I was about to get angry, but she said, "I'm sorry. I'm a straightforward person." Then I looked at her and said nothing. Then I added, "I'm sorry. I'm a straightforward person." Last year I was writing a script at home. I wrote for 3 days and 3 nights. I wrote The Dreambreaker, that is currently being filmed. Anyone who has written a script knows that the stories you write are like your own children. They are closely related to past experiences and fragments around you. This script should be the best I have ever performed. When I was admiring myself and preparing for the second major revision, the phone rang. The friend said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I wrote a super awesome script. Do you want to see it?" She said, "Send it to me." I said, "Wait for her." After 20 minutes she called me and said, "I think it is still far from my expectations. I lost interest after watching the first episode. I speak very directly. Sorry." I hung up the phone with a bang. And that was the last time we talked on the phone. A few days later, I showed the script of Dreambreaker to my parents. My father said to me, "Son, it's well written overall, but the first paragraph is not attractive enough. If you want to catch the audience's eyes, you have to add conflicts. Revise it." After listening to my father, I continued to revise it with director Latte for 3 rounds. Until last week, the script passed the Youku review and is now in the filming stage. Later I suddenly thought that the suggestions from my friend and my father were actually the same, but they were said in different ways. However, I, who have always had a good temper, turned against the former and respected the suggestions from the latter. Why? Actually, if my father spoke like my friend, I would also get angry. Although I know that what they said is right, I just can't accept the former. Actually, no one can accept it. There are always some people around us who speak very bluntly. They never care about other people's feelings and say whatever they think. Maybe what they say is right, but it is hard for people to accept. To put it nicely, this person has a very straightforward personality. But to put it bluntly, this person has low emotional intelligence and completely disregards other people's feelings. I have seen many such cases. The wife bluntly accused her husband in front of outsiders, saying that you look at how much money other people's husbands make. The mother bluntly criticized her son at a dinner party, saying that you just play games online at home every day. The teacher directly criticized the student in public, saying that you are a bad student with no future in life. After they said these words, they all said to the other party in a reasonable way, "I am very straightforward and don't like to beat around the bush. Please forgive me." The other party just smiled awkwardly and his heart was broken. Until today, I still listen to a good friend's words, even if he is wrong sometimes, because he always gives me suggestions in this way. "It's okay for you to do this. Would this be better? If I were you, I would consider this approach. This is great, but is there a better way?" Imagine whether this would be easier for people to accept. So remember, no matter how good a friend is, he or she cannot stand up to your unconditional bluntness. Take a detour when speaking.